So when you guys are looking at this cover, it's mounted like this in the vehicle, right? And so you're kind of trying to figure out how do you remove it. These clips are easy because you would just pull it down. But the difficult part is this section right here. If we flip it around and zoom in here a little bit, you can see there's a clip here, there, and there's 2 feet down here at the bottom, right? That kind of hook into this plastic thing. Right, the feet kind of hook. You can kind of see how they protrude down like that, and that's what keeps this from just pulling out. If you were to put a finger in here and try to pull this and try to pull it that way, like hook it and pull it out in its orientation in the vehicle, which is this, right? Number one, the mirror, the rear view mirror is sticking out of this hole right here, so you couldn't. But even if you did, you don't want to just pull it out because it's got the little feet in here. So what you're trying to do is unclip these guys right here. So see how that's unclipped now? That is what you're trying to do, but from a very weird position, which is this position, right? All right, so what you're essentially trying to do in here with a trim piece of some sort, something very thin, I've seen people use a flat screwdriver, but that's just totally unsafe because it can snap things, crack things, mar things. But if you got one of these plastic trim removal tools, what you're trying to do is stick this in here, like so, all right? And pull those clips out, all right? It's very hard to demonstrate while I'm trying to do this and manage the camera at the same time while holding this. When it's in the vehicle, it's sturdy, but it's not easy, guys. I'm not going to say it's easy. Maybe if you do it a couple of times, it gets easier, but you want to put this in here and you want to negotiate those clips. Knowing where the clips are is half the battle, right? So you know there's a clip here, so you want to aim right there, right? And you know there's a clip about halfway down the middle, so you want to aim right there when you're kind of putting it in there to negotiate it. Something a little bit harder than if you got like a real hard plastic trim piece, I think that works out a whole lot better than this one here. For example, at the top right here, I put it in, and then I just kind of work it in there and then pry it out. Gently without marring this here, that's the only catch. But this is going to be your biggest challenge. If you can get this off, everything else is easy after that. If you had access to the back, you don't really have good access to it. If you had access to the back, you could reach in here and just kind of push these clips in, like so, and these bottom ones in, like so, and then it just kind of pops out. But there's just not a lot of good access to it, all right? All right, guys, so the mission today is installing dash cam in the Ram 3500. So to do that, I'm going to need to remove my housing that goes around my rearview mirror. So I've started doing that already, but I figured, hey, let me record this in case somebody's wondering about the same thing. All right, so the first thing you're going to have to do is remove your housing, right? That goes with your rearview mirror right here. And I'll show you guys, this piece here comes out of this section right here. You kind of have to put your finger up here and then just pull it down, right? You just put your hand here by the headliner, put your finger behind it, and just kind of try to pull it out. So that's what I did with mine anyway. As you can see though, it's got these clips that are kind of to the side. So the best way to not break those is to kind of put some kind of pry tool right here on the side, and that will push this guy in so you can actually take this out, right? If you loosen this here, you can kind of maneuver it a little bit more. So you just are gonna have to finagle with it until you get that off. I wish I had better instructions of telling you guys how to remove this, but this piece has to come out first, all right? So that just sits in there like so. And the way it clips in is one clip up here, another clip over here, and then just down here, it's got these little feet that kind of go down in that area down, if we can get back there. So you can kind of see the holes a little bit right there. So that's what you have to contend with. to get this out. All right, so that's the piece that comes out first. The next step is actually a whole lot easier. If you can get this out, everything else is gonna go smooth. So right here, there's a little hole. I like to put this in and just kind of softly pry on it a little bit. And then that just kind of comes out like so. And I'll show you guys how this is connected. So this just has a couple of clips. So you can see there's a clip that holds it in place right here. And then there's another section over here, another section over here, and another section over here. So that's how that works. And this will kind of show you what it looks like when that's not on. Let's see if we can get some light in here. Okay, so that's what it kind of looks like back there. So this is the clips we were talking about. That's one, the silver one right there. That's another one down here. And then if you go to the driver's side, that's two clips right there and there. And that is what you have to contend with to remove that. So what you're looking at here is the camera for the cruise control, I believe, right there. And over here is the wiring, I think, that we're going to have to remove so that we can plug the adapter in order to get us to be able to wire a USB adapter onto that, which is going to be used for the dash camera. So that's the process of removing this mirror. Yeah, so you want to be careful with this because these are just finicky, right? Chances are you're going to break this while trying to take it off. But if you do break it, I've got a part number right here, if I can see that properly. Okay, so it's 6PA26TRMAA. All right, and that's the piece that goes on there in case you break it or you know you're going to break it and you just want to order one in advance. That's this part right here. Okay. All right, so hopefully that was helpful for those of you that are just wondering, how do you take off that mirror? I'm going to do a whole video series that includes how I actually mount my dash cam, so you can wait around for that, or it's probably already posted by now, one of the two things. But that's the whole idea, and that's the reason why I'm removing this. So while I'm in here, I'm also thinking, why don't I just go ahead and add that camera or that rear view mirror that actually has the camera, so it's a digital rear view mirror as opposed to this. As you guys can see back here, I've got a headache rack, so it doesn't really make very good visibility out the back anyway. So that's something I'm also thinking about, but we'll have to see exactly how much those mirrors are and if I want to go through with that. All right, for right now, peace.